there's no necessity for Malaysia to venture into casino business. We are focusing on digital transformation, energy transition, AI, and we believe that this is adequate to push the country forward. Now, the complication with the casino was that nobody actually referred to us to check the facts and the veracity of the information. And number two, it complicates because the king's name was somewhat implicated or insinuated. And in our system, although it's a constitutional monarchy, the person monarchy highly respected and regarded. And it's grossly unfair, not only for you, but then abused by some other members of the opposition to say that the Prime Minister and the King is in cohort trying to open up a new casino. And that was why I took a very strong position, because it is, again, manifestly unjust to drag the name of the King, because the King is not a politician. They are not at liberty to respond. And the system of the royal members is that the paraphernalia must be respected, how we address them, and the fact that they are accorded with dignity and respect. That was why I took that, but nobody was arrested or the media was banned. They were just the process asking questions, and I think we move on.
We move on, just to be sure, to put it out there, no casino under your administration. Let's talk about the economy. Almost 2 years on, is the Malaysian economy where you thought it would be? Because when you speak to some investors, they say, you know, they've been pretty frustrated because of the slow rollout in your reforms. They point perhaps to the slowness, the delay in cutting fuel subsidies, which would add to the coffers, improve your fiscal position. Your response to that?
Well, we have undertaken these stringent measures. I've inherited a system where we have 1.5 trillion deficit for 5.6. Now, of course, I have to deal with this. Now, an abrupt, radical change would result in a lot of frustrations and anger. We have seen the so-called reform agenda in many of the countries in Europe. It's a disaster. You assume that the elites have all the answers without even interacting with the masses. And I think this is the flaw, basic flaw of the so-called elitist democratic ideals. Now, what we have done is, firstly, the issue of transparency, the issue of strong call for anti-corruption measures. All procurements must be through proper, transparent tender exercise, which did not happen. That's why corruption became endemic, and we lost billions in the process. But have we not taken measures? No, we did. The fact, Aslinda, that we focus on proper tender process, that saved billions. And this is a major shift from the old corrupt policies. Secondly, we have undertaken, for example, electricity. The cutting of subsidy for electricity to the rich, to industries, but not affecting the 85% of the population. I don't think we should burden the issue of the governance is to make sure that it is transparent, it is just, but it should not punish the poor. Did we do it? Yes. How much did we gain? 4 billion ringgit. Now, we subsidize even for chicken. We withdrew the subsidy. How much did we save? 1 billion. Give us a break, Aslinda. Don't force us to make all these measures in 1 year.
So when it comes to the cut in fuel subsidies, can we expect that in June? Some say perhaps by year-end. Can you give a time frame?
We acknowledge diesel and oil. Our prices is the cheapest. I mean, Malaysian price is cheaper than even Saudi Arabia. So I concede things need to be done. But it has to be done judiciously, because in no way will I punish the masses. You see, inflation can be a problem. What can be the priority? The priority is to stop the wastage and the leakages. If we can reduce the leakages,